Music history, spring 2022, final project by Kevin Ortega. My project is on Claude by modernist composer Claude Debussy. He was born in France in 1862, one of the leading French musical impressionists from Claude in 1890, and after 15 years of revisions, it was finally published in 1905. It is one of Debussy's most famous works. It has been used in many pop culture film and television shows, but more recently, Claude has been featured in Twilight. It becomes Belle's theme motif. Here is a quick listen. It is in French and it means the light of the moon. It is part of a larger collection called Suite Bergamasque. The suite is made of 4 movements. Claude de Lune is the 3rd movement. Bergamasque refers to a type of medieval 16th century dance. The suite gets its name from a poem of the same name. The name of the poem is referred to the second line of the poem. Written in 1869 by symbolist French poet Paul Verlaine. This was a very popular thing for composers to do, that is to select a poem and write music for it to evoke a feeling. It is important of Debussy's genre as a songwriter. His style, he was opposed to the romantic style that Tchaikovsky, and also opposed to classical style like Beethoven. He does not conform to the rules of classic theory and composition. Instead, he uses unconventional harmonies and scales for a different kind of music that people haven't heard before. So what he uses, so all this can be found in Debussy's music. Claude de Lune is like an impressionist painting. It's really about capturing the essence of something, not the fine details, but the spirit. What it does is the painting. It paints a picture. It creates a mood. It takes it somewhere beautiful. Into this song form. 3 different sections, which is tertiary form. We have A section, B section, A section. This is all the music sheets divided into sections. A section is Andante, or walking tempo, includes the main theme. Lacks a distinctive word that contains a lot of open and empty space, long held notes, yet is very captivating. And that is one of my favorite parts that we will hear in a bit. B section is a bit fast and introduces the second theme. The third section is the A section, which is like the first A section, but is a bit different. It is slower. It brings back the melodic material for the first section. There is a short outro at the end that helps close out the piece. As promised, here is my favorite part on the second page. It is a recognizable part, and all the notes come together here, but at the same time, but still quietly. It is super powerful. Debussy wrote. It is a short piece that is really pretty simple in its construction. A section is again Andante, walking is the main theme. The opening begins with harmony that we hear the main melody. This will be described by pianist Dwayne Hilbert, who I've listened in the works cited at the end of the program.
And each of the harmonies go down the scale.
On the second page, music starts growing in agitation.
The piece, you hear a beautiful melody that comes out of that scale. Kind of winds around. And what we don't realize, it's going downhill. Down, lower and lower. He keeps going down. All with that beautiful impressionist harmony. And then one of the most beautiful moments of the piece, the rising chord. And he does it all over again, coming down the scale.
On the second page, music starts growing in agitation. We will use some of the characteristic role breaking when it comes to chords. They do not choose clusters of notes to adhere to any standard. So you help choose them for a specific mood they create or the ambience. Dissonant chords, like role breaking. So let's take a listen to the dissonant chord parts on this page. They peek into the beautiful world high note part that reminds me of a harp. is what leads us to the second section. These are where the things start rolling along and you get interested in the piece. It becomes a lot more technical demanding than the first. These are pages that Debussy uses their notes of broken chords. He uses them to create a shimmering aura. How does he do this? He uses arpeggios in the left hand and combines this with the right hand, which creates a beautiful aura of sound underneath the melody. Piece. Also contains the waterfall effect. There will be a shift between the first and second sections where the tempo picks up a little bit and we hear the second theme. There are a few things to listen for. The section involves running arpeggios and lots of motion. This is the climatic movement of the piece. The movement when all the notes start tumbling down like a waterfall. A pivotal movement, and it is very, very beautiful. First, let's hear the pianist Wayne Holbrook describe it.
Different all of that music was in a sharp key. Now this is the darkness of that black keys returning. Almost like coming home to what's familiar from the beginning.
Third part read notes are similar to notes opening, initial opening, and the decorative opening.
With a much higher range, higher notes. The same melody we heard in the beginning, going down the scale.
So you can see that it brings back the opening theme, a lot of material from the first section, but in a slightly different way. He puts a little decoration on it. So in this section of what we just heard, which is the end of the piece, we have the repetition. We hear arpeggio playing into those we heard at the beginning, and finally at the very end of the piece, we turn to these arpeggios. It is not really a melody; it is just a finish on a piece with arpeggios.
Almost like asking a question. And the answer? Home base. Time. Arpeggio.
What we have at the end to summarize is the outro that brings the piece to a close and ends 5-1 in a perfect cadence. We use a very conventional chord progression at the end to close out the piece. Moving from fifth to the first of the scale, something that he doesn't usually do, but it helps close out the piece while giving a very sense feeling for a listen of the piece coming out to an end. So let's take a listen to the final movement, perfect cadence. And that's all I have to say about Claude Debussy. Besides by group artists that we did have not studied. Whatever resonates with Claude the Luna, we understand now. I think it's pretty thoroughly though. So I hope you will hear this song and really any song in movies, films, and our TV and be able to recognize it is originated from Debussy's Claude the Luna. The song Luna is by the Naria Group. This is the Naria Group. They sing in their soprano voices the essential magic of Claude Debussy's Claude the Luna. This is written by Katya Shubar and arranged by Hayam Mazar. The Narya group is a classical crossover group. They have crossed over from classical to pop. There are four opera voices that join to create music. Narya contains four brilliant voices whose voice skill and original choreographed compositions feature. Pop, opera pop and world music with classical high notes. While exhibiting their intimate personal style, their name Narya, where does it come from? It refers to Arya's song in an opera, and it stands really like Narya is probably Canadian. And I am ending here with the song The Moon is derived from Claude de Hope. After our analysis song, you will be able to recognize it as quickly as I was able to. The last slide will be my works cited page. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy it.